Well, aloha and welcome. So glad we're all here tonight, top of the hour. Hello out there, Internet, if you're watching. It's good to have you back. We haven't streamed since sometime in June, as far as I recall. Amy and I have been on retreat at different places, and I'm sure Amy will tell us all about her experiences. I was here last week, but didn't stream. So welcome to the Bodhi Tree, Hawaii. So glad you're here. We'll start with some announcements just so that I can get into the habit of announcements. If you're first time here, which none of you guys are, but if you're thinking of driving up tonight, we do have a restroom in the hallway. There are some cups on the shelving if you'd like a glass of water. The Bodhi Tree has been very, very generous to us. So they have allowed us to be here without charge. But if you find the Bodhi Tree's mission a wonderful thing, there is a box out there for Donna. That's a gift offering, but it should come from the heart. There's no requirement. There is also a list, if you'd like to get on the email list for the Bodhi Tree, that you can sign up there. And this is the one that I have been asked to make. Let's see here. Buddha's Mother's Day. Buddha had a mother. Most people do, whether they've met them or not. Most people have been given birth to. Buddha did know his mother, and she, if I'm not mistaken, later became a mendicant, joined the Sangha. But they are celebrating it here on Sunday, August 30th, from 9 to 11, followed by a lunch, which probably would include some potluck things if you'd like to come. There'll be flyers next week for that. And the other thing is, Trin, the director here, works hard for the Susan Komen Cancer Walk. And there is a Bodhi Tree team. So if you would like to do the walk, which I think it's coming up in October, but we can look it up online and I'll have more information coming up. But if you'd like to do that to help out that charitable thing, join the Bodhi Tree team. All right, so welcome. That's it. We're going to do what we usually do, about 10 minutes of movement. Let me bring Amy in here. I'm not going to show her. We're going to keep her hidden. Well, maybe not. We'll show her for just a second. Let's see if I can actually do that. There she is.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. I'm going to turn on their microphone so they can say hi. I think she can hear you if you say hi.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Benjamin. Hi, Allison. Good to see you.
Ron.
I don't.
You're not able to see Ron.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get this. No, I don't think I have the remote on. There's another person here named Ron who's become a regular, so.
Oh, nice.
So there's two.
Rhonda. Oh.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, what was your name again?
R-O-N.
Hi.
Or Nora if you like to talk backwards. Yeah.
Ron.
All right. Can you see?
Awesome.
3 silhouettes there? Perfect. All right.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I'm going to switch back and we're going to do a few minutes of movement. All right. So stand as we usually do, away from the fan if you're tall, because I'm not good at that and I stick my hand in there at least once a month. And let's just stand with our legs hip or shoulder width apart, our knees bent gently, so we're a little springy. We don't want to be rigid unless you have to be, in which case do what's comfortable. Don't do anything that's uncomfortable. And we're just going to stand here. Let our shoulders relax. Let our arms just relax. Maybe push out our hips a little so that we're tucking. I always like to think of this as a pitcher of milk, and we're spilling just a little off the backside with our hips forward. Our arms maybe just not tucked in, just hanging out. Looking downwards, maybe 10, 12 feet in front of us. Imagining a string from the top of our head holding us up. And just taking a nice deep breath and letting our bellies go. You guys are not on camera for anybody other than Amy. You can't see it on there. Nobody's being videoed for streaming. And let's just settle and take a nice couple deep breaths. Feel ourselves grounded and anchored with the earth. And tonight we're just going to start with a little wiggling, shaking our hands, letting those fingers go. I want to be as loose as possible. And just follow it up the arms, into our shoulders, and our neck and our head. Trying to let muscles relax so that we're not stiff anywhere, unless we're stiff somewhere, in which case, okay, don't make it uncomfortable. We get our knees moving a little and our feet. We can pretend we're a famous ex-president. You can look that up if you're too young to know. All right, and once we've sort of loosened everything, just come to a stop slowly. Stop wiggling quite so much. And we'll just stand again for 10 or 12 hours. No, just a few seconds. I don't know what to do tonight. We'll start with smoothing the line of chi. So let's take our hands in a prayer position. And we're going to imagine a line of energy. In Chinese Qigong, there are meridians and lines of energy. So we'll just allow ourselves to imagine this line up and down our front. We're just going to move our hands gently up a little and down. And just smooth it. Slowly up to our lips and down to our heart space. Upper lip, heart space. We can breathe in as we go up, breathe out as we go down, or not. We don't need to coordinate it. Gently moving up to our nasal passages and nose and our eyes. Our eyebrows, just smoothing that line. Forehead. And we're going to go a little higher, but don't ever let your shoulders get uncomfortable. When you feel some pain, just stop and don't go higher than that. I had a rotator cuff injury a few years back and I couldn't go up very high, so I know what that's like. And up as high as we can soon, almost as if we're touching a bell hanging from the sky. And when we get to the top next time, just stop, and we're going to do Chinese dragon. One of my favorites. So I'm going to go to my right first, but if you go to some other side, that's fine. So to our right, back across our neck, back across our midsection, down around our knees and back across our midsection and neck, and up and over, and getting as sinuous as we can, getting our whole body into it. Just making sure we stay balanced. Up and over. Just feeling everything move. Our legs, our hips, our shoulders. Don't go higher than is comfortable. Don't lean more than is comfortable. The next time we get to the top, we'll stop. You can keep going there, Alice, until you get there again. And when we get to the top, stop. Nice deep breath, and go the other way. And if you forget which way the other way is, it's okay. I already have, and have screwed it up myself. This is really more about just getting the whole body moving. Couple more times, and then just come to your own stop with your hands still up. And I'll be stopping on this one. And just take all that energy we've had, fling it up, and hold our hands up. You guys ready to be cats at a scratching post? Get your claws out, and we're going to drop with our knees. But again, be really careful and don't do it more than is comfortable. Scratch with your hands and let out a shout. Back up. Just like we're a cat. If you really want to screech, it's okay. And hands up, one more. Hands up. And just let them come down like a bird's wings. And we'll just stand here for another, I don't know, till midnight? Yeah, you guys, you can sleep on your feet, please do. When you're comfortable, let's make our way back to our meditation position. I'll bring Amy on, and we'll get started with our evening sitting. Hey, we am back. All right, I'm going to turn it over to you if I can figure out how to do that. It's been 6 weeks since I've done this. It's amazing how much you can forget in 6 weeks. Oops, wrong camera. I knew that would happen. Okay, it's all you, Amy. I'm turning off my microphone for probably the rest of the evening.
All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and begin with the sit. So, letting yourself find a comfortable position, comfortable enough. And the invitation is to take some longer, slower, deeper breaths. This is the part of the meditation that it's okay if your neighbors can hear your inhale and your exhale. Continuing for a few more moments of this longer, slower breath. And when you're ready, allowing the breath to return to normal. Noticing how the body feels after these slower, deeper breaths. And if the mind needs something to focus on, you can choose to keep it on the breath or the body or sounds or all of that. This time is giving our body and mind the gift of stillness. While our mind might feel busy and might you might find it that it's still problem solving or working something out. Sitting is an offering to our hearts and minds to pause from all the human doing so that we may be a human being. May we just be right now in this moment as it is. May we allow this moment to be just as it is right now in these hearts and bodies and minds that we carry. May we trust ourselves enough. May we trust ourselves enough to let go of the past, thoughts of the past. Let go of our planning of the future, to keep coming back to right now, this very breath, this very sound, this very sensation, this very thought, just as it is, with care. If in this very moment we can feel our presence, what does that feel like in our body? This is what presence feels like in the body. It's useful information. And if the mind is a little bit stuck, a little bit sticky or tricky, if the body is a little bit tight, can that be okay too? May we trust our unfolding in sticky, tricky moments. And what's that like in the body when it's sticky or tricky? And when we trust our unfolding alongside it being sticky or tricky, what's that like in our body? Whatever is here in this moment, can we see it? And can it be okay just as it is, even if it's not okay? right here, right now. Right here, right now. It's like this. In Buddhism, we say there's 10,000 joys and 10,000 sorrows. May we trust ourselves to meet them. Trust our unfolding, to hold that, to hold them with care and wisdom in presence. In these last moments, continuing to pay attention to our mind and our body. What is it like in these last moments? Once we transition, can we stay present with our body and mind? Bring, bring, bring. You all. I missed you guys. So I practiced on retreat this summer for 6 weeks. Yeah, man. It still surprises me when I say it. I'm like, really? 6 weeks? It's a long time. Yeah. In the quiet outside, in the less busy, I was really able to see in moments the not quiet inside. My brain is so repetitive. I wouldn't want to subject it to anyone when I have this like same thought pattern. Just keeps going, and it's just like, man, do I do this in real? I think I do this in real life too. I just don't necessarily notice all the time. Sometimes I notice. I realized when that happens, there's something important there. There's something important underneath that's going to keep knocking on the door till I pay attention. And oftentimes it would be like irritation or frustration, aversion, we might call it in Buddhism. And I'd feel myself getting frustrated or angry, agitated. And then I'd see what was under it. And then I'd just cry and cry. And then I was like, oh, that's what the repetitive thought was about. That's what the agitation, anger, aversion was about. I was hurting, scared, worried, ashamed, afraid, confused. Those were the themes. Yeah. I cried a lot, a lot. Um, yeah. I watched it, I felt it, I shook with it sometimes. Brought me to my knees sometimes, literally once. I was out walking. It was a lunch. And I suddenly had this thought that helped me understand some of the pain underneath. I stopped eating and started walking towards this redwood tree. And then I just like dropped to my knees in sadness. for my family. That moment, it was for my family. For their dukkha, for their pain. It's so hard to watch the ones we love be in pain. Kind of impossible, actually. And there's no solutions. And that's a lot of the energy sometimes, right? Is trying to come up with a solution to make our pain go away, someone else's pain. Sometimes we can do that. There's definitely things that we cannot. Those precious things in life that cannot be problem solved by our skillfulness. And so I cried for all of that. For my pain at times, for the pain of my family at times, my friends. I had a friend whose brother died, uh, a really close friend. He died at 32 of a stroke. Yeah, this summer. Another friend's house burned down in a fire. Life is tricky. Other times I cried for people in wars, people in abusive situations, known and unknown. Diana Clark was telling me that I was realizing the first noble truth. I was realizing dukkha. And she told me that I wasn't doing it wrong. That it was just part of the path. It wouldn't always be like this. She said that my capacity was bigger than even I knew. And I believed her for both. I feel myself loving more deeply, caring, being struck by the humans around me sometimes. I was walking through the airport and I was like, everyone here is experiencing pain. Everyone here will be if they aren't right now. And so I just started crying through the airport right after the retreat. Not right after, but a few days after. And then this little girl in a dress, this cute little dress. Um, I was sitting on the floor leaning against the wall next to this restaurant. And the restaurant had its name lit up, this light illuminating off of it. It was this pink light. And this little girl in a blue dress walks next to me and she's looking at this pink light and it's reflecting onto her dress and onto her hand. She's looking at her hands, looking all pink. And she's so mindful. She's so curious, so present. It was so sweet. That too. That too. I believe to really feel the good, to see it. I gotta give ourselves time to feel. It's tricky. Uh, I had a moment where I was worried about people judging me for crying. A few moments. I was like, they're like, some patriarchy thing. There's just the woman crying. Um, Maybe she's hysterical or histrionic and I talked to Gil Fronsdal about it. I said he's like, what are you adding to it? And I said, well, I'm worried about other people's judgment, like that they don't know that I'm like so strong, like outside of here. Because in retreat teachers, like teachers mostly in retreats see me as like, I feel like maybe a crying mess sometimes. I don't really get to see like the fullness of me, right? And they're human. So, yeah, I said I was afraid people were judging me, patriarchy pieces. And he said, it's okay to cry here, like I'm telling you, you know. It's Gil Fronsdal, he's like the guy who's like, yeah. And I said to him, I don't believe you. Said, I don't believe you. I said, you could be judging, like maybe I would make a little noise in the retreat hall or maybe something, you could. And he's like, you know what? You're right. You're right. I could not know, I could, the patriarchy is real and I could start to judge you in some sort of way, and he said, I give you permission that if you feel that in me, you can come talk to me about it. And I said, I believe you. Um, and I did. He said, I believe in putting things out on the table. I really appreciated that. And this 70-something-year-old white man being able to hold space for me in that way. And he does piss me off sometimes. These teachers piss me off sometimes. I tell them to. But I trust in them to come back to their goodness. I trust in their wisdom it feels reliable to me, these teachers that I follow. And that's what they were encouraging me to do, is to trust in my goodness, to trust in the Dharma in me, the wisdom in me. Yeah, if anybody's curious, Gil Fronsdal is doing a talks all this week on the Dharma inside us, the wisdom inside us, when we can hear it, how we can hear it with stillness. Um, it's through Insight Meditation Center on YouTube, 7 a.m. California time, which is too early for Hawaii, and well, some of you wake up pretty early, but you can check out the recordings if you're interested. Gil also talked about feeling safe. So one of my retreats with him, the one with him, the last one was with him, and it was in the High Sierras. And I was camping and hearing animals outside my tent every night. And one of the people in the cabins, a bear actually came into their kitchen at midnight. Somebody didn't close the door all the way. There was wild animals, and we talked about Alaska and how the cold last year felt unsafe. And he's like, that's valid. That's like a reasonable fear. Um, I don't know if you guys know what these things are. It's Bear deterrent. I drove by a bear on my way home from work yesterday. Anchorage has a lot of bears right now. And those are real, you know, safety things. Um, and and what we have in our lives, whether it's illnesses or there's things that can feel threatening that are real threats, right, to our lives. And there are things that we add on that feel like perceived threats. And no matter what they are, whether they're categorized and who gets to categorize them, I don't know, as real or added on, only you can really do that for yourself. Creating enough safety to do this practice matters. Enough safety in the company we keep, enough safety inside our brains. If we're really hard on ourselves, the inner critic in there is loud. And lots of people experience that because of negativity bias and survival and family histories and stuff. It doesn't feel too safe in there. So trusting our unfolding, trusting our goodness. It's not about, I think when I get hijacked by that, I'm like, okay, I'm trusting my unfolding. What can come from that is sometimes like, well, other people don't trust, like this person doesn't trust me. This person doesn't think I'm good. This person thinks I didn't do enough. This person expects more from me. This person misunderstood this person, that person. And I do make mistakes. What they feel about me, it comes from a place that's important to them, that's real to them. And that matters to me. And I trust that my growth, that my wisdom, that my awareness isn't going to be found in the criticisms. So yeah, the theme of my retreat was confidence. Came out to be what came to me, what I felt like was a value, if I had to summarize it, was trust and confidence. Trust in myself, my unfolding. And that doesn't mean I'm not making mistakes. That's delusion is real. Delulu. It's not just something the kids are saying. I'm gonna be blind. It doesn't, but I can trust myself. At the end of the night, I think I'll sleep better if I know that I did the best I could. Even if there's people out there who would disagree, even if there's parts of me that would disagree, I did the best I could today. I'm gonna do the best I can tomorrow. Not in the perfectionist way, but just what I can do to causes and conditions. And that trust in myself won't make me blind to the lessons I need to learn, the places I need to grow. In fact, I think it'll allow me to be more open to them, less defensive of them, more curious for how I can meet them. And how radical could that be? Someone who struggles to sleep and wind down in my day. So I don't know how that will unfold in me as more and more time between retreats passes. But it feels like there's wisdom there. And my wish is that I see the delusion, I see the places I'm causing harm sooner in that way. Trust in myself to see what's important as it unfolds, but still trust in myself, even as I see my mistakes. I don't know if you follow, but this was maybe all for me. And may whatever I said, I hope, this is kind of what Matthew Rensilver says. Yeah, take whatever is of service, is of support for you, and leave the rest. Thank you so much. And for the online people, thank you so much too. All 0 or 1 of you or 5 of you or whatever might be out there at one point. And yeah, I think Bob's gonna wrap up the online segment here so we can have some interactions.